Afternoon, guys. Nice to see you, whoever's up. Dog. Right. Okay. Let's get on to Mari. I hope you're all well. You all right? Yeah, okay. So we're going to look at one of my favourite... Hello, Harry. We're going to look at one of my favourite stories in Islam today, which is the night journey. I love the night journey for many reasons. I think it's got some of the most exciting parts of it, and it's got some interesting twists and turns, which I don't think quarantine is making you go insane. Yeah, I agree. Quarantine has been interesting. As you may have noticed, I have got a tie tied around my head today. I don't know what I'm meant to feel in quarantine anymore, so I've decided that I'm going to pretend that I'm sort of like undercover and I have to forage for all my food, and that this is like the wilderness, because it's the only way I'm really coping with it. So today I've been foraging for satsumas, which is one of my favourite things to forage for. So I put my tie around my head and I went and foraged everywhere. Quarantine has given you 95 hours Animal Crossing. That is a long time to be playing Animal Crossing. Well done. That is a long time. Jesus. So yeah, I've basically been doing this and planning this lesson. The animations that you're about to see are they're up there. Okay, so the night journey. One of my favourite things, the night journey. The journey is split into two parts, and I think it's one of the more fascinating sort of stories to look through in Islam. I am just going to eat this satsuma while I do this, because I haven't had any vitamin C today, and I think it's nice to eat a satsuma. So I apologise if there's any eating sounds and like chomping sounds on the microphone. I don't think you chomp a satsuma really, but you know, little bits. I don't know what the white stuff really is. I know it's called pith, but I'm never sure how much I'm meant to take off. Do you take all of it off? Because there's little bits on it. I don't really bother. So, we're going to start the journey in Mecca. Okay, so Mecca is here. Oh no. Do you see that transition? I'm here, I'm ready, I'm doing these things. Mecca is down here in Saudi Arabia. And the main part of our journey is going to be taking us from Mecca to Jerusalem. Mecca to Jerusalem, okay, in one night. That is a huge distance. Mr. Minton ASMR. Association of Submarine Rangers, ASMR. What does ASMR stand for? Awesome socks, Mr. Rinton. Doesn't quite work. Attack small men right now. No. ASMR. Don't know what ASMR means, Harry. You'll have to explain it to me. Don't forget, I'm old and stupid. So we've got Mecca down the bottom here, and we're going up to Jerusalem, and we're going to make this journey in one night, the night journey. We're not going to do it by foot. We're going to do it from saying all those things. Mr. Minton is going to say, rude. I'm not going out rude. Right, so I'm fine. So we're going to start our night journey, and our night journey is going to start at night. So the places we're going is inspecific, but the best guess is we're going from the Grand Mosque in Mecca. Certainly we're going for some place of worship in Mecca, and the Grand Mosque seems to be the most sensible place to assume. And we're going to a mosque in Jerusalem. Now I've picked this mosque because it's the oldest one in Jerusalem, and most Muslim scholars would agree it's this mosque, though that's not necessarily the case. It's like, sorry, I'm going to the chat again, I do apologise. It's like people who make satisfying noises and whisper into the microphone. Hello! So, that didn't seem satisfying, that seemed like a horrible noise. So we're going from Mecca to Jerusalem, and we're going from some sort of mosque. Now, the word mosque is not a direct translation from the ancient Arabic. It can just mean any place of prayer. So we don't know it's exactly this mosque here, but some place of worship in Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is a city that's currently in Israel, but up until the 1940s was in the Arabic world. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Well, I don't think I would have guessed that if you'd given me 9 hours. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Meridian. Autonomous sensory. I don't know. The word meridian in there absolutely blows my mind. Meridian means the sort of the middle line around something. So sensory suggests brain. So is there meridian in your brain that it's going down? I don't know. I don't know these things. So, oh yeah. Also, this might add up to whoever is calling me insane there in the chat. This might add to the thing. I have found this new fonts website, so I've been playing with a lot of fascinating fonts. So we're going from Makkah to Jerusalem. From Makkah to Jerusalem. Makkah I wrote in a font that was saying about dragons, and Jerusalem I wrote in a vampire font. I'm going to be very much playing with fonts over the next few days. Right. Exactly. That's a good joke. I like that. 95 hours, because that's how long that person spent on Animal Crossing. Well done. I like that. So, this is going to be our method for the journey. Now you're looking up here at this little picture and you're thinking, what on earth is that, Mr. Minton? Well, that is our good friend Barak. Okay, so he's going to be very important to this story. But let's go back for a second. So we're Muhammad, or not, we're not Muhammad, but we're going to start with Muhammad in Mecca. Okay, Castlevania. Don't know why you're just saying Castlevania there, Harry. I like the word. I know the game. Old SNES game, but I don't really know what Castlevania means. Obama. Are you just saying words now? Right. Okay, I don't understand what's happening anymore. That streamers are very satisfied. Oh, sorry. So, we're in Mecca with Muhammad, and he is visited by the angel Jibril. The angel comes down and basically goes, we're going on a trip. Come with me now on a journey through time and space. That's not it, but he says, come with me on a journey. And this is when we meet our friend Barak. Barak has, as you can see, there's not a great description of the Quran, but from most hadiths, like hadith teachings, it's a horse with wings. Now, I don't know if I see that as a peacock's tail, but I've not found any text that suggests he has a peacock's tail. But maybe he has a peacock's tail, but very much has a human head. Now, I love this picture for many reasons. One, Barak is just putting such a plain face, like, yeah, flying horseman, love that. Two, I want that hat. I want one of those hats really badly. I think those hats are really cool. I would pay upwards of £58 for those hats. It just makes me pleased, like the little like blank expression sort of just roaming through the sky. It really pleases me in many, many ways. You can see the Islamic symbol of the faith there, the star and the crescent moon, on the side, well, laying down rather than sideways as we're traditionally used to seeing it. So this is a traditional Islamic drawing. But we go back and we have got Al-Barak comes out of the sky from the heavens and picks up the Prophet Muhammad. So the Prophet Muhammad is picked up in Makkah. So he picks him up and goes, oh, Barak as in Barak. That's why he's saying Barack Obama, because he's called Al-Barak. I'm so thick I couldn't work out what was going on there. Barak is making me think that whoever drew him was on acid. Very unlikely, because I think acid, as in the drug, was invented during the Second World War. It's very much a chemical substance, so the person drawing that was probably in around like 1000, the year 1000, so 1,000 years ago. There's a chance that people on hallucinogens there, but I don't think it would have been acid. I don't know what hallucinogens would have grown naturally in Saudi Arabia at that point. I don't think you'd have got magic mushrooms, though they could obviously be transported. They wouldn't have grown naturally, I wouldn't think. I'm sure there are some hallucinogens you could get on. I guess, you know, like, there's lots of things you can take to make your brain hallucinate. Anyway, animating again. Barak starts in the heavens and comes down to the city of Mecca. And it's in the city of Mecca where he picks up the Prophet Muhammad, okay, and then they fly across the night sky to Jerusalem. Now, I've just realised what I've done there. I thought I did a loop-the-loop on the animation thing, but obviously he doesn't do a loop-the-loop, he just goes like that. But imagine he did a loop-the-loop, because that'd be so much cooler. So Barak goes from Mecca to Jerusalem with Muhammad on his back and the angel Jibril with him. So they get to Jerusalem and a few things happen. Firstly, Barak is questioned Muhammad gets off and goes to this mosque, which I believe this to be the mosque. It's the oldest mosque I could find reference in Jerusalem. All this is happening in the year 621, so Muhammad is in his 50s by this point. It's about 10 years after the Quran was written. So 8 years. So the Quran's been finished for about 8 years. It's done, and Muhammad is now sort of just living his life preaching in Mecca. There's lots of trouble going on between people not believing him, and there's wars going on. And on this night, he goes from Mecca to Jerusalem on the back of a magical flying horse with a human face. So he gets to Jerusalem, kneels down, and he prays. And it's basically declared that we're now going to pray facing Mecca. So the decision is made that all prayers from this point onwards will be done facing back towards the Grand Mosque in Mecca. Before that, there is sort of an idea that maybe Muslims had prayed facing towards Jerusalem, but now they're going to face towards Mecca while they pray. And then, at this point, while they're in Jerusalem, the angel Jibreel decides that he is going to test Muhammad, and the test is quite specific. 3 liquids are put in front of him, and they're sort of in what they call a pauper's bowl, I think, as far as I can get the translation correct. So there's these 3 liquids in front of him, and Muhammad has the choice between water, wine, and milk. Now, I'll be honest, that to me looks like the worst cocktail ingredients that I can imagine, but he's got this choice of water, wine, and milk. So Muhammad selects the milk, takes a drink, and the angel says, "Good choice, you made the natural selection, so that's great." Now, I was very confused at first, because obviously I would say that water is a natural selection as well, because it's natural. I guess what they're saying is wine is not natural, it's the only one that is man-made, in that we process grapes into wine. But I guess milk is sort of processed from cows to us. That's fine. You're going to get a really loud, weird noise now because we're using an ice machine in the house. Sorry about that. We have to... We're cooling a bottle of milk for the baby because the milk is too hot, and we don't like to burn the baby's mouth because we're good parents. So we're just cooling some milk down. And we use ice for that because we're smart people. So Muhammad chooses the milk, and the angel says that is the natural choice. If you had selected wine, then your people's future would have ended in ruin, essentially. Like, if you'd chosen wine, everything would have gone wrong. You have to choose the natural choice of milk. Now, that does raise a question: what would have happened if Muhammad had chosen water? I can't find much information about this online that I could really understand quickly. The best assumption I could get was that 2 of the choices were right and 1 was wrong. That if he'd chosen the water, that would have been fine as well. But it was the wine was the bad choice, and so he just had to avoid choosing the wine at that point. So as long as he chose the water or the milk, then he was absolutely fine. I personally would have gone for the water. I prefer water. I don't like milk, lactose intolerant. I'd have got back on that horse and I would have been farting like an absolute monster. If I have anything with dairy in it, like milk or yogurt or cream, I create smells that are not human. So yeah, you'd have gone for the wine, would you? I mean, the wine isn't a bad choice. I have picked a very odd bottle of wine there. It looks like, I've never heard of Cornavirus wine. Not sure where that's meant to be from. Hello, little one. You coming here? Oh, little baby. Right, so just see what happens. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe they would have exploded at that point. You never know. Right. Oh, bambina. So we then go back to this, and I don't know where. Okay, I animated that one wrong because Barack wasn't going to just fly off the screen there. So this is the end of the first part of the journey. The first part of the journey goes... right, hang on. I've got to show you this. Right, get down that side, dog. One of the rabbits has fallen asleep in a very... Oh no, he's woken up. So I don't know if you can see that. The rabbits are sort of lying down, kissing each other. Romantic rabbits. Oh. They find the quarantine boring as well. They've not been able to go to the pub in ages. So Oh, yes, okay, you can come back up. That's fine. So, this is the first part of the night journey. Okay, so the first part, the angel Jibreel speaks to Muhammad. Okay, first part. Okay, says we're going on a journey. Barak the flying horse arrives. Perfect. Barak has turned up. There is talk that Barak is like the traditional mount of the prophets. I haven't gone through all the other prophet stories to find out where Barak appears, but there might be other prophet stories where Barak appears as well. I will look that up, because that's something I'm quite interested in. Muhammad rides Barak across the skies to Jerusalem. Okay, next stage. Muhammad then prays in Jerusalem, and Jibreel, he prays facing towards Mecca. Jibreel tests Muhammad with water, milk or wine. Muhammad chooses milk. Right. Oh. Allah gets back on Barak. Okay, so that takes us. Well, let's look at the significance of this first of all. Why is this important? Well, it's important for a few reasons. Firstly, it shows the importance of Muhammad as a prophet. He has been chosen as a prophet, and Allah is willing to send Barak to him and send the angel to him to give him more guidance. So it shows that Allah is constantly giving him guidance. It's also guidance he's giving to him after the writing of the Quran. So that suggests that even after the Quran has been written, that this is important information, that Muhammad has still information, and it sort of reiterates the importance of the hadiths, Muhammad's other writings around the time. It shows that Allah is imminent in Muhammad's life. That Allah he doesn't just give him the Quran and then just go away. He gives him the Quran and goes, right, and here I am giving more advice. Oh, you're struggling with prayer. I'm going to take you on this journey so you can learn about prayer, because the next part of the journey is very much about prayer. And he shows how he's guiding him. And it shows the methods of salat. Salat is the posh word for prayer, the proper word for prayer, are approved by Allah. That the way Muslims pray is clearly approved by Allah, because he is like approving them by taking Muhammad and showing him these methods of prayer. So when a Muslim prays now, if they're like, well, why do you pray like this? And go, well, this is how Muhammad was shown to pray on the night journey, so therefore this must be a good way of praying. So back to my sick animations. Right, so, oh, what happened there? The second part of the journey. Oh yeah, it faded. I've been doing like fades. Right, in fact, my picture, I need to move my little picture. Let's go up into, oh no, oh God, stay there. You. No. You. No, move the picture bit of yourself. Yeah, there we go. Zoop. Right, so, no, Allens, this is the time when I wouldn't notice if you fell asleep. I mean, that is true. Just try and stay awake. It's quite embarrassing that you fall asleep in actual lessons and yet now you're awake and watching me. So it means that I'm probably more interesting on the internet than I am in real life. Quite embarrassing. Right, so Muhammad is currently in Jerusalem on the back. Wrong sort of vein there, Harry. You should be using vein as in like you're also vain, V-A-I-N, not V-E-I-N. V-E-I-N is vein as in your wrist or something like that, just as a heads up. So Barak is in Jerusalem with the Prophet Muhammad, and then they go to heaven together. So the second part of this journey, don't worry mate, you don't have to apologise for anything. Fine, we get things wrong all the time. I'm literally an idiot. So we're off to heaven. When we get to heaven, the best and simplest version of this story is that they go through these 7 stages of heaven, and then they have to go past this tree where the angel Jibreel, the angel Jibreel is there for all of this. The angel Jibreel can't go past this tree, Barak can't go past this tree, so Muhammad has to get off himself and go past this tree into the 7th circle of heaven, like the most special part of heaven for the prophets. And there he's going to hook up and meet with these other prophets, and these other prophets are Ibrahim, Musa, Yahya ibn Zachariah, who is John the Baptist, and Isa. So in Christianity it would be Abraham, Moses, John the Baptist and Jesus. It doesn't say if other prophets are there. You'd imagine that all the prophets would be in this circle of heaven. I don't know why it only mentions 4. I can only get these 4 as guaranteed names, but he says to speak to the other prophets. Why is this important? Well, this shows that Muhammad is on the same level as these other prophets historically, and therefore his existence is as important as their existence, and there is nothing separating him from them. There is no more important prophets, because it's showing they're all in this place together, showing that Muhammad is as important as them. So Allah commands Muhammad to pray 50 times a day. 50 times a day would be an impossible amount of time to pray. I'm just going to do the maths on my phone now. Someone just sent me a picture of a cake. I want to know why. I'm going to look at that cake later. I love cake. So 50 times, and that's 10 minutes. It takes, well, let's say, 10 minutes to pray. Let's say if you're doing it quickly with wash, because don't forget you've got to wash beforehand, then you're going to divide that by 60. That is 8 hours, 8.25 hours of prayer a day, basically. So if you're praying for 8 hours a day, you're not going to have time for anything else. So Allah commands Muhammad to pray 8 hours a day, basically. And Moses, comes up to Muhammad and goes, that is not going to work. You're not going to be able to pray 50 times a day. You need to talk to him and say you can't pray that much, which is kind of weird, this idea that Allah's making commandments that Muhammad doesn't think he can fulfill, or he can't fulfill. And so Muhammad sort of goes, and this is all through I guess through the angel. I don't know if at this point Muhammad can speak directly to Allah or can feel Allah's words, because we're meant to be in this circle of heaven. I don't know. I can't explain that properly. I do apologise. Muhammad basically goes, we're only going to pray 5 times a day, and they settle on 5 times a day. They settle they're going to pray 5 times a day, which is still probably like almost an hour's worth of prayer a day. If you're doing wudu, washing beforehand, which is still quite a lot of prayer. So at that point, Barak comes from heaven with the Prophet Muhammad on his back and zips back down to earth, drops Muhammad off. And this all happens in one night, okay? In this one night, Muhammad is taken on this journey. So what happened in the second part of the journey? Muhammad is taken to heaven, he meets the previous prophets, he confirmed how to pray, and they settled on 5 times a day for prayer, okay? And you can't pray 2 times a day, let alone 50. Yeah, 50 would be a ridiculous number. I mean, I would say inconceivable. You don't know how to pray. Pray with an A there. Kuba? Jacob? Is that you? I'm guessing you're Jacob. I don't know. So it would be pray with an A there. Now this day is celebrated in Islam still to this day. It's sort of a day of festivals. It's not one of the festivals I have to teach you about, but it is celebrated as a day of festival. Ah, hello Jacob, nice to see you, darling. Hope you're well, staying safe in this time. Are you watching it? What is Elite on Netflix? I'm looking for new Netflix shows. Is it good? Should I be watching it? Who wouldn't notice it's Jacob? Right. I can only see like a little name, and I don't know what Kuba Kazun means. Kuba, I assume, was Jacob, and I couldn't imagine any other Kuba would be watching along, so I assume that was from Jacob. What's it about, Jacob? What's Elite about? Right, okay, I can't convince my wife to watch a confusing anime, Harry. Okay, what is it? You just saying it's lit doesn't help me. I know lit means good, because I'm not as old as I used to be. No, I'm older than I used to be, but I'm not that old. But what does that mean? What is it about? A horse? Elite? A vampire? Serial killer? What's it about? Tell me what it's about and maybe I'll watch it. Murderers and finding out who killed the president. Yeah, I'm in. Completely in. Love a show about murderers. Right. I don't know what you're saying, Harry. I'm guessing it's from JoJo and that sounds like an anime thing. I don't understand. Right, so I will try and watch JoJo at some point, but it's going to be watched without my wife, because she will not watch that. Now, I'm going to go through the Year 10's work today, so you can watch along if you wish to, but this is the Year 10's work they got set today. I'm going to go through answers for it, so if any of the Year 10's need a hand with their work, this is what I'll be going through quickly. So, in the story of Adam and Eve, how was Adam created in the Quran? The Adam was created in the Quran. Right, this is chaos when it comes to Jacob and Netflix shows. Okay, well I'll try and remember that in future. How was Adam created? In the Quran it says that Adam was created of 7 types of earth, the various different types of earth. It actually says the colours of the types of earth and the fineness of the soils. Angels were sent out to collect the soils, they brought them back, and then Allah blew life into them. And this is important because it shows the soils are meant to represent that Adam is going to be the father of every different type of race, every skin colour. That's why all these different types of soil had to be put into Adam. What roles was Adam given by Allah? Adam was taught how to look after the planet, to be a steward, okay, S-T-E-W-A-R-D, a steward, somebody who looks after the planet. The Closest Islamic translation of Stuart would probably be a Khalifa, like the rapper Wiz Khalifa without the Wiz bit, so Khalifa, that is someone who looks after something. He was taught language and how to spread words, and he was given the job of naming all the animals and how to sort of farm the land and look after people. What happened to the children of Adam? Well, the children of Adam is a fascinating sort of part of it. Like in the biblical version, the first two children of Adam are Cain and Abel, but they're not called Cain and Abel in the Quran. They don't go by that name. They go by... now, I'm going to get pronouncing this wrong. It's Qabeel. Qabeel and Habil. So Cain is Qabeel, and Abel is Habil, so Abel Habil is closer. Qabeel, I guess Cain is a bit closer, so Qabeel and Habil, and Qabeel murders Habil. So Qabeel murders Habil, fulfilling a prophecy in the Quran, and when Adam dies, he actually chooses neither of those children. He chooses Seth as his successor. But all his descendants end up sort of moving apart and across the globe. But he chooses Seth, his another son, as his successor. He doesn't choose Qabeel because Qabeel murders Habil. But this is meant to be showing that even though Adam was a prophet of God, his children carried on sort of the evil side of mankind and sort of was carried on our sins and stuff like that. Why did Allah forgive Adam? Adam begged for forgiveness, basically. Allah is meant to be all loving and meant to be all forgiving. So, because did they get Anakins from Star Wars? No, they didn't get killed. So Anakin was killed by his... Who kills Anakin Skywalker? I'm not a great Star Wars one. Luke. So, no, they didn't get killed by their father. No, they're brothers who kill each other. I can't think of... Cain and Abel is actually used by the WWE, WWF if you're old like me, for the story of Undertaker and Cain, the brothers who fight and hate each other. That's why Cain... No, the younglings. No, they killed each other. There wasn't some sort of like bit where Anakin Skywalker kills them all. So Cain and Abel kill each other, and the reason Cain in the wrestling is called Cain is because he's meant to be this brother trying to destroy his brother. So the name Cain is a brother who killed his brother. He's the first murderer in the history of the Bible. So why did Allah forgive Adam? Adam begged sincerely for forgiveness and swore that he would always respect Allah, and he basically apologized. And Allah is all forgiving and all loving, so is willing to forgive Adam and give him another chance. He didn't restore him his place in heaven, in paradise. He made him a normal human being and said, right, you can live on earth as a normal human being now. Unlike the Iblis, the angel who tempted Adam into doing wrong, who was banished and basically sent to hell or banished from earth. And this is meant to show that Allah is all forgiving if we are willing to ask for forgiveness. Explain in your own words two reasons two reasons why Adam is important to Muslims. That is awful English, absolutely appalling English. So let's change that now. Right, 2 reasons why Adam is important to Muslims. I mean, so there's quite a few you can go for. You could just go for simple ones like one reason he's important is because Adam is the father of all mankind, and this shows that all humans should respect Adam because he is the ancestor that joins all of us. Or you could do 2, he was a prophet until his death. From his birth until his death, he was a prophet and spread the word of Allah and was there as his messenger on earth for his entire life. Awful English, you wrote that. I know, I'm criticising my own English. Sometimes I make mistakes. He taught the revelations to his sons. So he taught his sons, who then were meant to teach their sons. However, his sons often strayed from the faith. But he taught his sons the faith and the revelations of God. He taught about the work of Iblis and how to protect themselves from jinn. Jinn are like evil creatures, evil genies and demons. And basically Adam taught his family how to resist temptation and resist being dragged into evil, like he was dragged into evil by Iblis, the fallen angel. I will probably at the end, Harry. So that can be another reason. He is said to have built the Kaaba, the first place of worship for all Muslims. He taught all humans how to farm and look after the world. He's the first steward of the world, looking after the planet, and taught us how to look after the planet. So there's lots of reasons why Adam could be important. So I think that's everything I've got today. Yeah, that's everything I've got today. So black screen's kind of boring. So as I've been doing the last few days, I then take an opportunity, because this is my now free time, to get on with the most important thing in my life, which is... Oh, I've not done it right. Is this working? Oh, I might not be able to do it today. I do apologise. Let me see. Whoa, that's trippy. Right. That's very trippy. So, I'm going to be looking after my farm. I'm not on the screen anymore, am I? It's Thursday, Jacob. It's Thursday. Right. Oh, let's get letters from these annoying people. It's about the bushes are full of them. I want to pick some. I lost my basket. Yeah, actually, Linus. I think you're the homeless man who I quite like. So I've got blackberries in my bag. I'll get you some blackberries. I think I know who you are, Linus. So I'll sort you out. Right. First things first. Let's sort out these bleeding chickens. Oh no. Whoops. Hey, you chicken. Hey, you chicken. Hey, you chicken. Hey, you chicken. Right. Pick up the mayonnaise. Lovely mayonnaise. Go and get the eggs. Jesus, these eggs. What? Lovely eggs. It's not Thursday, Harry, is it? I thought it was Thursday. I'm fairly certain it's Thursday. Yeah, okay. Harry, you're going to make me vomit if you keep talking about the fact that your dad eats mayonnaise on spaghetti. It's scary. It's fearsome. I don't like the thought of it. So last time I was on, I managed to build my barn at last. So I'm just going to plant these before I do my watering. Oh, blimey. Planting trees. Yeah. It's Monday. Oh, right. It's Monday on Stardew. Yes, that's true. I never pay attention to days on the Stardew game. I just farm and I keep my farm all nice and going. Close that. Right. Love watering my plants. I mean, I could do this in real life and grow plants in my garden, but I think I'd hate it in real life. The thought of running a farm in real life sounds awful, but doing it in this is just so relaxing. I don't want to make mayonnaise in real life. Making mayonnaise sounds like an absolute pain in the backside, but just making some lovely mayonnaise in this is an absolute joy. Playing Minecraft. I have never really played that properly. I know very little about it. So maybe one day I'll play Minecraft. I don't really know. Is that as relaxing as this? It doesn't look as relaxing. It looks more stressful. Like things attack you. I don't think I can get attacked in this. The worst thing that can happen is a crow steals all my food. See, without me aliens you cheater. I don't know what that means. I don't know what. Right, Jacob's very upset by that. Sorry, Jacob. I don't own Animal Crossing, Harry, and at the moment I'm not popping down 50 quid for it. Also, I'm just looking after this farm. I can't have another farm to look after. I will get it when it comes down in price though. Price, I'd say 75% of why I do anything. Right. Oh no, where am I going? What's I going to do now? Oh yeah, so my mayonnaise that bloke in town. Guess I don't really have any sort of plans in the game at the moment. I'm just sort of building stuff. Enjoying my life. Oh yeah, taking that bloke blackberries. Gotta go and get them blackberries. I mean, he did send me a letter saying there's blackberries all over the bushes. Can you get me some blackberries? He's a bit lazy. How about you go and get the blackberries? Why don't you bring me some blackberries? Right. Crayola Scoot was $2.50, so I bought it. I don't know what Crayola Scoot means, my young friend. I'm sorry. Right. Thank you, Jacob, for being appropriate. I appreciate it. Oh, I thought I had blackberries. I don't have blackberries. I've got grapes, plums, sweet peas, blueberries. Oh, sorry that, man. I don't have any blackberries I can give you. I've got spiceberry and a wild plum. Wild plum sounds weird. Right, I've got mushrooms. Right, oh, I'll make the rest of that mayonnaise. Right, try out Boom Beach on my phone. I'll have a look at that on my phone. I do like a phone game. It's always nice to play something on my phone. Right, gonna put eggs in the machine. Eat the eggs for my dinner. Splatoon, who made those crayons? Oh, I've not played Splatoon either. Look, I'll be honest, haven't played enough games. I used to play Rainbow Six, and I just died all the time, and I got upset by people being rude to me. And I now play on my Switch like once a day in the evenings before I go to bed, and I do that. Hello, look at all this. A morel mushroom. These are fancy. No, don't just eat the mushrooms. Stop trying to just eat everything. What's wrong with you? Some fancy mushrooms. I don't know what I'm going to do with the mushrooms. I guess eat them at some point. I just seem to pick things up. I'm becoming just a hoarder now. I'm just putting things into a box. Yes, you're right, Harry. God, good memory. Yes, I got hacked in Rainbow Six, and the person improved my statistics in it. They got more kills than I ever got. It's one of the more embarrassing parts of my computer gaming history. Oh, wild plum. Right, I should go and look for blackberries for that geezer. Looking around for blackberries. It looks like a beautiful day outside, but I went for a walk earlier and it was horrible, but now the sun's out. It's really gutting. I've wasted my walk on the terrible weather. I take the baby out once a day and just wander him around vacantly, looking for something exciting. And then whenever you see someone, I sort of panic and trying to keep as far away from them as possible. Like they're poison, which I guess sort of they are. I know what it's about, Minecraft. I understand the sort of vague concept. It's like sort of like digging holes and stuff like that. Just haven't really played it. Maybe over the Easter holidays, rather than playing this, because I won't have to do videos on RE over the Easter holidays, maybe I'll just play Minecraft and learn how to play that every day at 2 PM. I'll keep up a tradition at 2 PM every day over the holidays. I'll just play Minecraft and work out what's going on. But it's going to be very embarrassing because I won't know what's going on. If I was a blackberry, where would I live? No, it's another wild plum. What got a wild plum? I've got wild plums at home. Sound like my mum. Do creative if you want to chill. I'm not very creative though, Harry. If I'm going to do anything, I think my man Alan's is right. I've got to try and survive. I mean, in these times, survival is key, isn't it? Oh, don't want that. I want that. Get off my lands. You know, learning how to survive is very important for Mr. Minton. Oh, I've blocked my own exit. That's annoying. Quite aesthetic. Right. I'm assuming you're having a conversation without me. I don't know what any of that means. Right. Buy your mayonnaise. Oh, gold mayonnaise. I'm just going to sell all the mayonnaise. I haven't got any sandwiches to put it on, and people will pay me a fortune for it. Alright, check on my barn that this woman's building. Oh. Get on with it. You stood there. There you go. Under construction. Can I help? I'll help. I'll hit it with a sword. Does that help? Oh, it just cuts my grass down. That doesn't help. Right. Just cut some grass. No, I do not mean spaghetti, Harry. I'm not putting mayonnaise on spaghetti. Oh no, I've gone the wrong way. I'm going to go down and see if there's any blackberries at the bottom part of the map. I've made too many trees. It's hard for me to get everywhere. Oh. I've made my life far too difficult on this. I need to build a path or something at some point. Hey, hang on. Is that a blackberry? Yeah, it is. Right, now, Linus. Where did you... I think you're... I'm 90% sure Linus is the homeless man. So I think if I go this way, I can go through town and give it to him. Yeah, I know, it's disgusting. Harry's dad eats mayonnaise on spaghetti. Not just plain spaghetti, spaghetti bolognese. It's upsetting. Right. So I'm fairly certain that Linus is the homeless man who lives at the top. I like him. He's my only friend in the village. So I'm going to go and see him and see if he wants this blackberry. hope he's there. I don't know where else he hangs out. Sometimes he's not there, sometimes he is. So I don't know if it's like on a Tuesday he's got like yoga, on a Wednesday he goes, you know, bowling, Thursday he's at the cinema. Right, are you in your house? No, he's not in his house. Where is he? Where are you? Oh, what's that? A hazelnut. That's one big hazelnut. It is. How exciting. Hey, you're Linus, aren't you? Yeah. No worries, mate. You explore deep into the caves. Alright. All them hidden secrets. Nice one. Yeah, I will. I'll always take a sword in that. Right. Okay. Right, oh, it's getting late at night. Probably time to wrap up in bed. Right. Hopefully that woman will finish that damn barn soon. I want to buy a cow. I want to call it... God, naming a cow. That is difficult. I mean, I suppose naming it after my wife would be offensive, so I won't do that. Naming it after my baby doesn't seem normal, so I probably won't do that either. Don't know what I'm going to name my cow when I buy it. It's going to make me cheese, so maybe I'll call it like cheddar. Or... oh no, that's not my house. Name, I don't know what that is, Jacob, darling. Right, okay. Emergency food. So whenever you play on stream, you say, hello, subscribe. Hello, subscribe. Hello, subscribe. Who's subscribe in this situation? I know what that means. Right. I'm just an old RE teacher, teaching RE and then using the extra time to play a farm game. This is literally my life. Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to call it a day at this point because I'm going to go and try and be a good parent for the rest of my day. Right. So I will see you all later. Oh, that's what I should call the cow. Right. Well, there's a strange name for a cow. Right. I'll see you all.